Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Fandom United podcast, episode number 2, coming at you on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. Sorry I couldn't do this on Friday. I was busy setting up my new podcast station here. Got me an L-shaped desk, a new Mac, and some podcasting gear. And here I am trying it out. So give me your review of my audio and video. Let me know, and hopefully it's something I can improve on as I continue to do this. Hope all of you are having a good Saturday, relaxing, hopefully staying off Twitter and away from the news. It was definitely a crazy week for sure, not just in the real world, but DC as well. The world of DC, Warner Brothers, which is what this podcast focuses on. I'm going to try my best to break down the drama between actor Ray Fisher, who plays Cyborg, and Warner Brothers, because a lot of stuff was happening this week with that. But first, I want to share some exciting news with you guys. This Monday, I will have the privilege of interviewing Mr. Sean O'Connell. Now, who is Mr. Sean O'Connell? Well, he is the author of the upcoming book, Release the Snyder Cut, the crazy true story behind the fight that saved Zack Snyder's Justice League. That's right. I get to interview this gentleman. He is making time for the little guy. And so I'm going to ask him a lot of questions and just have a fun conversation about this movement that is bringing us Zack Snyder's Justice League in March. I can't wait. You know, it's always been my dream to interview, people who play these characters that I love. Zack Snyder as a director, I absolutely would love to interview him one day. Ben Affleck, I would love to interview him one day. Gal Gadot, same thing. This is a kind of a new channel for me, a new podcast, very young in its days. And the fact that I get to interview someone who's releasing a book on a movement that I support and champion for a long time is just, it's a little surreal. So hopefully I don't mess it up, and hopefully you guys will tune in. The interview will be Monday, and I will debut it on Tuesday. So looking forward to that. But let's get to some news first before we break down this Ray Fisher, Warner Brothers drama. We got some new images. The first one, now this was apparently leaked, I guess, but these guys are Steppenwolf and Uxas, aka Darkseid. Steppenwolf to the left, Darkseid to the right. These are the big baddies coming in Zack Snyder's Justice League this March. Now, who exactly are these guys? Well, the guy to the left is a very, very powerful, glorified general, and he is the uncle to Darkseid on the right. In the 2017 version of Justice League, we got, I guess, a watered down version of this character. If you remember that movie, the CGI was not good, the visual effects. But here we have another image showing his armor with spikes coming out of it and just his towering presence. This guy is going to be badass. He's going to give Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman a handful. My God, I can't wait. The guy to the right, if you remember Marvel's big baddie, Thanos, this is the original Thanos right here in the comics. Darkseid. He is as big as it gets in DC. And what you're seeing on the right is about maybe a very young version of him. Okay, not even full form. And look at him. I mean, Jesus. You thought Ben Affleck's Batman was built? Jason Momoa was Aquaman? This guy, even with Thanos and his Infinity Stones, I feel like Darkseid will still beat his ass. I can't wait for this. This is what we were supposed to be getting with the Justice League movie back in 2017. But it's great to see again, even though these images are leaked, it's great to see another look at these guys because I think they're gonna, I think the characters are gonna kill it. DC has done such a great job, mostly a great job with their villains. General Zod in Man of Steel, played by Michael Shannon. Lex Luthor, played by Jesse Eisenberg in Batman v Superman. I know, not the traditional Lex Luthor, but still, just what Eisenberg did to in that performance for that character, the dialogue, incredible. I'm a fan of Ares. Ares wasn't bad. Could have been better. Ocean Master in Aquaman, played by Patrick Wilson. Loved it. And Enchantress, we don't have to go there. Okay. It should have been Jared Leto's Joker, who, by the way, we will see in Zack Snyder's Justice League. I'm definitely looking forward to that as well. All right, next image. This is Zack Snyder's original vision for Wonder Woman. Boom. Look how crazy that is. Look at what Wonder Woman is holding. Yeah. Violent. And you know what? I love it. I don't love it just because it's Zack Snyder. I love it because of what Zack Snyder has given, what Zack Snyder has, the way he's explained this character. Here's his tweet. Wonder Woman 1854. This amazing image shot by Stephen Berkman of an Elseworld war-weary Diana who has chased Ares across the battlefields of the world and had yet to meet Steve, who would help her restore her faith in mankind and love itself. How awesome does that sound? I love the man's vision for these DC characters. I mean, Wonder Woman chasing Ares across battlefields, probably through different time periods. And if you have a problem with Wonder Woman holding, severed heads, here's Zack Snyder's response to one fan. Wonder Woman, I stand for truth and love, but those who wish to destroy truth and love, I will strike down with furious vengeance. Getting a little Sam Jackson Pulp Fiction there. But hey, it's true. Those who wish to destroy truth and love, I will strike down with furious vengeance. And how much more furious does it get than that? Amazing image. Obviously, I love what we got. The image of Wonder Woman in World War I with Chris Pine and company. That was great. But you can't help but think, man, Zack Snyder, look, the characters may not be your ideal, what you want to see on screen. But the way he adapts these characters, it's regardless of your feelings, it's just like, wow, what an amazing vision right there. I mean, I think back to Jackie Earle Haley as Rorschach. Billy Crudup as Dr. Manhattan. Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. Again, may not be your ideal version of what you want to see or what you want to see on the screen. But man, the vision on this guy for these characters is just mind-boggling. It's fascinating. And I hope he has opportunities to continue adapting more DC characters. Now, would I trade the Wonder Woman version that we got for this one? Probably not. Because, like I said, I enjoyed that. I very much loved it. But can't help but wonder a what if. DC should do a what if series. Yeah. All right. So next up, well, speaking of Zack Snyder, apparently he has no plans to do any more DC projects after the Snyder Cut. Here's this lengthy quote right here that I really won't get into because it's quite a read here. But the last line that I highlighted: "Would I continue? I have no plan to, but like I said, I didn't think I'd be here, so who knows?" He didn't think he'd be here because none of us thought that Snyder Cut would be coming. Again, that's why the release of Snyder Cut movement. I can't wait to talk to Sean O'Connell about this because it's unprecedented what the fans were able to do to get this to happen. But Zack Snyder has no plans, and I mean, why should he? The way WB, treated him, treated his projects, mandated run times, and so on and so forth. He's just happy to have this. He wasn't expecting this to happen, but the power of the fandom. The power of the fandom. So fans online are freaking out. This is it. Zack Snyder is not going to do any more. Calm down. Just wait. When Zack Snyder's Justice League releases the Snyder Cut, and it's a hit, I'm confident it'll be a hit. Just wait. I think there'll be a calling. I think there'll be a calling for Zack to do more. If anything, because the fans want to see it. And the power of the fans. All right. So let's break down this Ray Fisher versus Warner Brothers thing. I'm going to try my best not to confuse myself, but hopefully, more importantly, not confuse you. All right. So on my channel earlier last week, I broke down a New York Times article on DC Films president Walter Hamada, and how the article talked about the future of DC projects, how the writer took unnecessary jabs at DC and started filling in holes with rumors and unconfirmed information. I wasn't a fan of the article. And apparently neither was Ray Fisher. Here's the article right there on the bottom with Walter Hamada, the DC Films president. And here's Ray Fisher. Walter Hamada is the most dangerous kind of enabler. His lies and WBPR's failed September 4th hit piece sought to undermine the very real issues of the Justice League investigation. I will not participate in any production associated with him. Accountability over entertainment. For a refresher, a lot of toxic stuff reportedly happened during the reshoots of Justice League when Zack Snyder stepped away because of a family tragedy and Josh Whedon stepped in, and with Jeff Johns and John Berg, producers, they redid the whole movie. And apparently Ray Fisher has come out has been very vocal about some of the stuff that's happened. Now he's slowly, we'll get to that. Let's continue. So Ray Fisher says that he will not be associated with any productions involving Walter Hamada. Shortly after, The Wrap, a news site, starts releasing rumors, basically, that Justice League actor Ray Fisher, who was offered a cameo role as Cyborg in the Flash solo movie, has been written out of the screenplay and will not be recast. This was a rumor. And the guy who wrote this has been very, very hit or miss as far as rumors go. All right, it's important these things have to be taken with a grain of salt. Okay, too much clickbait out there, clickbait headlines, misleading, articles, misleading headlines, and quotes taken out of context. I hate it. So anyways, that rumor comes out. Ray Fisher hears about it. Ray Fisher tweets about it. I strongly suggest that the Wrap amend this article immediately. While I appreciate the reporter's undying desire to do Warner Brother Pictures and Walter Hamada's bidding, Walter Hamada, the DC Films president, is factually inaccurate. I did not publicly step down from anything. And Ray Fisher continues, 105. If WB Pictures had made the decision to remove me from The Flash rather than address in any way Walter Hamada tampering with Justice League investigation, that's on them. The idea of removing the role rather than recasting it is only being used to try and avoid public backlash. The Warner Brother Pictures PR team has struggled to regain control of the narrative ever since they failed to bury me and the Justice League investigation with their September 4th hit piece, which, unsurprisingly, was written by the same reporter. He continues, the fact is, the Justice League investigation led to Warner Media and its affiliates parting ways with Joss Whedon, the director of Avengers, the director who stepped in for Justice League reshoots. Jeff Johns, the producer who was very much involved with that reshoot, will be following suit. Had Walter Hamada, DC Films president, gotten his way, none of that would have been possible, and the cycle of abuse would have continued. My team and I are in deep conversations with Warner Media regarding all these matters, and Flash or no Flash, we fully intend to see this through. I'll keep you all posted, but in the meantime, thank you for your continued support. A over E, accountability over entertainment. Whew. Yeah. A few hours later, the Wrap strikes back. Warner Media says it's time to move on after Ray Fisher says studio failed to bury him. And then below the picture, Warner Brothers tells Ray Fisher it's time to move on. A little bit of confusion there. Warner Brothers and Warner Media are two separate things. Look at it as, all right, Warner Media is Disney. Warner Brothers is Marvel. Warner Media oversees Warner Brothers. It seems like Warner Media is more support of Ray Fisher than Warner Brothers, where Walter Hamada is involved, where Jeff Johns is involved. And to make matters even more interesting, Walter Hamada, the DC Films president, re-ups his deal in the middle of all this till 2023. So clearly there's support for Walter Hamada, which, in my opinion, he's not as toxic or as bad as Joss Whedon, according to what's been reported, and Jeff Johns and John Byrne, the guys behind the Justice League reshoots. He was not DC Films president at the time. So I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Walter Hamada. I'm not a fan of how he's handled this. He needs to throw Jeff Johns as well as how he threw Joss Whedon and John Byrne under the bus. You can't protect a few and give some, okay? He's not going to allow it. I also need to give an apology because I did a video earlier on Ray Fisher and how he was no longer going to be Cyborg. I jumped ahead, and unfortunately, I may have spoken too soon. I'm happy to see Ray Fisher come back as Cyborg. I really hope he does. But it remains to be seen. This thing is far from over. And we'll see what happens. So let me know your thoughts on this. This thing is continuing to evolve, and it'll only get messier the longer this plays out. All right. So last thing I want to do as I wrap this up is go to a segment called In Other News, where I talk about things outside of the DC universe, things that really interest me. And the first thing I want to bring up, well, really the only thing I want to bring up, are these photos from Zack Snyder's upcoming movie, Army of the Dead, on Netflix. Take a look at these. I can't wait for this movie. This is from the director of Dawn of the Dead, premiering this year on Netflix. I can't wait for this movie. It's going to be so good. And to make it even more exciting, here's a quote I want to share from you from actor Dave Bautista. I'll read it. For his lead hero, Snyder reached out to Dave Bautista at Guardians of the Galaxy, who quickly said the opposite of yes. I said I wasn't interested, Bautista recalls. I had this chip on my shoulder. I was looking for juicy, dramatic roles. Then I read the script, and it was a lot deeper and had more layers than I thought. And also, to be quite frank, I wanted to work with Zack. Bautista became such a convert that he says he gave up a part in Guardians director James Gunn's upcoming The Suicide Squad to keep the role. This guy, who has worked close with James Gunn, very humble actor, very likable guy, gave up a role in The Suicide Squad to continue being in this movie. And again, what do I say about Zack Snyder's films? His characters are just amazing. I love it. And the fact that there's so much more to this than just a shoot 'em up zombie flick. It's exciting. I can't wait for this. Hopefully the fact that these images release means we're going to be getting a trailer very soon. And I will do a reaction here on this channel. So stay tuned for that. Anyways, that'll just about do it, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for your time. Thank you for tuning in. I hope all of you have a great weekend, great rest of your weekend. My name is Gio. Again, on Monday, I will be interviewing the author of Release the Snyder Cut book, Mr. Sean O'Connell. And so I'll have that up on Tuesday. And so stay tuned for that. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. I really do appreciate it. I got all this new equipment now, and I'm excited to be doing more content for you guys. It's been a very busy week, a very expensive week, but it should be well worth the investment. And so thank you again for tuning in. You guys take care, be safe, and I'll catch you guys next week.